Yo, what's going on, people? What's going on, people? Back again with Community Corner episode 27. Shout outs to you guys for rocking with me. It's FCD, Dojo Design Guy, and I'm here with Koenji. Shout outs to Koenji. Let me unmute his mic.
Hello,
What's going
what's
on,
up,
guys?
guys? We're good? We're good?
Yeah, we're good, man. We're good, man. We're good. I'm just gonna get into the few small quick announcements, and then we're gonna get straight into this one. So, before we continue, shout out to Koenji, by the way, for coming on. First of all, appreciate you coming on. Like, thank you, man. Thank
Yeah,
you.
no worries, man. No
Yeah, we
worries.
got a lot to
Happy
discuss,
to
and
be here.
we got a lot to discuss. So for now, a few quick announcements that we have. We got obviously Joining Pools coming up November 15th. The sign-ups are still up there. So if you games Street Fighter, Guilty Gear, Tekken, Grand Blue, etc., etc. So if you're looking for some offline tournaments upcoming soon, you've got that. We've also got started a new series literally 2 weeks ago, me playing retro games. So pretty much I'm trying to get these streams consistent. So every Tuesday at 6 p.m. I'll be playing retro games. The game I will be playing next week, I'm an idiot because I didn't queue it up, but I'm going to be playing Streets of Rage 2 next week. So that'll be 6 o'clock on Tuesdays. It's classic Streets of Rage. Yeah, we've also got 2BCU, which is on now. If you want to keep that in the background, because Jinty, Alex, shout out to Alex, is in the top 8 for the finals, which is happening now. I think at the moment they're just doing last chance qualifiers, so and they'll be playing through top 8 and stuff. So good luck to Alex for that one. You can watch that on 2BCU. And we also have Genius UK, long-standing dojo member, streaming right now. So again, loyalty split, but you know, shout outs to Gin, though, man. Shout outs to Gin. Long time brother, man. But yeah, man. But other than that, though, I think that's about it for the announcements. But Koenji said, "How you doing, man? How you doing?
I
Man?
am good. I am good, man. I am good. How are you doing?
I'm all right, man. Not too bad, man. Just life, man. Just life. Just doing what I can. Just doing what I can. I say, I thank you for coming on today. First of all, and yeah, man. Everything all good?
Yeah, everything's been all good. Well, thing with the game industry is that it's kind of in a rough spot. So I'm kind of like looking around, seeing what opportunities are available. But like
Oh,
outside
okay.
of that, I've been chilling. I've been chilling.
Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, so I guess like first thing, like in terms of who you are and like what you do, let the people know. If there's people that are watching that don't know who you are, like just let them know who you are.
All right.
Like,
So tag is Koenji. My name is Jordan Adams. I am a Tekken player, games programmer, games designer, and a modder as well. So I do like a lot of stuff that's kind of like revolving around kind of like game development stuff, and then that trickles back into like what I do as a day job, and also what I do in my spare time as well when I'm modifying games, basically. So
nice, nice, nice. So how just to touch on that side of things, how long have you kind of been in like game development and things like that and programming and
so
stuff?
I've been doing like bits here and there for like as long as I can remember. So like about like I want to say like 2000, like maybe like 2010. I was kind of doing like RPG Maker stuff, you know, if you know like
Yeah,
RPG Maker,
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of like tinkering around with that stuff. But like I got like proper education towards like learning how to make games in 2018. So I went to university for it, did 3 years, came out with a degree for it, got a
Nice, nice,
job
nice.
for like about 2 years in industry.
Okay.
But even like so like around like 2018, like when I went to uni, they were basically kind of like using a lot of like Unreal Engine for a lot of stuff there. So that was kind of like how I learned how to use Unreal Engine. And then a lot of these fighting games that are coming out, you know, at the
Use on.
time, you had Tekken 7, you had
Yeah.
Soul Calibur 6 that came out that year as well. It's like all of these fighting games, Unreal Engine 4, Unreal Engine 4. And I was like,
Yeah.
let me try and see if I can like put the two together. And then
Yeah.
there's so much like overlap
Yeah.
because it's literally the exact same engine that these developers are using to make these games is the exact same engines that you're using to mod the game. So it's like there's no difference in that sort of like when it comes to like that sort of development, there's not really any sort of differences when it comes to like the tools that you're using, which is
Yeah.
quite cool.
So what made you kind of get into that in the first place? Like, did you kind of what games did you kind of play like when you were younger and stuff? And what got you to the point where it's like this is something that you want to take forward as a career, so to speak?
I would say like for me, I played a lot of Sonic when I was growing up. Sonic was like the game that I would bang out a lot, basically. Um, and I remember like even like early as back then, I wanted to do kind of like level design stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I would have like I remember having like, for example, like the manual of what game is it? Crash Nitro Kart. Because I used to play a lot of Crash as well. And I
Yeah.
used to like kind of like doodle like maps that I wanted to like make.
Yeah.
Obviously, I didn't have any sort of tooling or any of that stuff. And I didn't really understand like how you actually kind of put together a game at the time. But I'm like, oh, games are so cool, you know. It might be like fun to like try and make them, right?
Yeah.
Lo and behold, making games is very difficult, right? So really, if you want to like go for it, obviously you do it for the love of the game. Obviously,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love making games, right? So that's why I pursued it, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically
Nice.
like that. When it comes to like just kind of like early inspirations of like
Yeah.
wanting to play and all that stuff, and then like Tekken as well to a degree as well.
Mm.
Playing that kind of like really sort of like feeling that sort of competitive side of it.
Yeah.
How people get like how people really appreciate, for example, like what the developers do. Sometimes how
Mm.
they get really annoyed at what the developers do, that sort of
Yeah.
flip side. But it's
Yeah.
like having, you know, putting a lot of like time and effort into a product and getting it into people's hands, and they're able to kind of dissect it and like figure it out and
Mm.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's really, you know, it's something that's really cool, basically.
Yeah,
So
yeah, because I guess obviously from your side, when like say like a new game comes out and it's like
mm,
Unreal Engine, the first thing you're probably thinking is like, how can I look into like the inner
first,
workings
first
of how
yeah,
this is built and how
yeah.
things are put together and stuff.
Yeah, the first thing is I've literally throw it into my usual tool I use for like dumping out information, and I just kind of like dissect and see how like
Mm,
people put together things like
yeah.
that.
So does that
It's
give
very,
you
very cool.
like a different kind of appreciation for like, because as you
Mm,
kind of touched on, like I was gonna get to this later on, but as you kind of touched on in terms of what developers go through and
yeah,
when the final output comes out, do you
yeah,
have kind of like a greater understanding of, say for example, like with Tekken, you know, okay, well this is
yeah,
bad and whatever. Like in
yeah.
terms of your understanding of it, do you have like a deep understanding of what it takes to get a game to a certain point to where there's more understanding in terms of
100,
decisions and
yeah,
choices
one
and things
hundred
like that?
percent, yeah,
Yeah,
one hundred
yeah,
percent. And you kind of begin to like, as sort of like the pieces of all these things sort of come together, you kind of understand as well, like, yeah, how definitely like these developers are making these games, right? So like,
mm,
for example, with Tekken, I remember early on, obviously they were like, oh, we're moving to Unreal Engine 4 because, you know, we can use it as like a renderer, right? And
yeah,
it's like we can like render out this environment. We don't have to work on like our pre-existing engine. Like every single
mm,
past Tekken game has been using, like they would have to like spend a lot of this development time making
yeah,
this engine, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um, and like I remember like people were like, oh, like I don't know, it feels different. Like, and like even though it's like a new Tekken, it just feels like very different to play and all that stuff.
yeah.
But like under the hood, it's literally like when you like really look at it under the hood, it's literally
Mm,
the exact same game loop that has pre-existed from Tekken 5. That is
wow.
like two like console generations of just
Yeah.
untouched gameplay code. And
Wow.
it's why like, for example, like Brian has like a really weird backsway bug. It just popped into my head. It's why,
Yeah.
for example, it's still in Tekken 8
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
you know, it's the exact same underlying code that has kind of like, you know, that basically builds these interactions and like these gameplay moments, right? The only
Mm,
difference now is that they're using you know, Unreal Engine 4 to visually represent what is going on in that game world. And it's
yeah.
not just Tekken that does it, but like, you know, Ninja Gaiden 2 does it, right? Ninja Gaiden 2 is literally just straight up
Yeah.
the Sigma version, so the PS3 code,
Yeah.
um, running in a constant loop, and then they render out everything to Unreal Engine. And
Yeah.
it's like, without any prior knowledge on that at all, it's like it sounds like something that just wouldn't work. And then you kind of dig through the weeds of it, and you're like, wow, this is actually like a really quick way of developing a game. You literally don't
Mm,
have to build these systems again.
yeah.
Um, and your game will always feel like whatever that original sort of feel you kind of created is, because it's literally the exact same gameplay code.
Yeah.
So even
That's
that as well is like, whoa, that's like really
that's
cool,
mad. That's
basically.
mad. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I remember there was a tweet that you put out around the time when obviously the Ninja Gaiden 2,
Yeah.
like the updated one came out. And
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, basically saying, yeah, this is it's the same as like Sigma Code. And I remember the tweet just
Yeah.
went massive and like,
And people are like, you can do that's like you can't put two engines together. Like I don't believe that. And then
yeah,
later on, what comes out, right? In the same year, right? You have the Oblivion remaster that came out, and you literally have like the Bethesda presented, like, dude, that was kind of like chilling
yeah,
there. It was like, oh yeah, we have like the original Oblivion as our like I can't remember the exact phrasing of it, but it was like
mm,
we use like the original game as basically like the heart of the game, right? And then
yeah,
like as the skeleton or whatever, and then
yeah,
like
yeah,
the actual kind of like body is just Unreal Engine, right? So it's
yeah,
like a lot of games are slowly sort of adapting to this. I don't even know what to call it, right? Because it's not even like a remaster or a remake at this point. It's literally just
yeah,
kind of like a blend of the two to kind of
mm,
like get something that is visually like
yeah, up
crazy
to date.
different, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, it's quite interesting, and it's cool that more games are doing it. I think Dynasty Warriors. I don't know if you saw like they're doing like a Dynasty Warriors 3 remaster,
Yes, yeah, 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 yeah.
and that's the exact
The
same
six.
thing.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Okay.
Exact, even down to animation code, bro, is the exact same
That's
code,
mad.
bro. Crazy,
That
man. Crazy
that's
stuff.
some mad stuff. That's some
Yeah,
mad stuff, man. No, that's crazy. That's crazy.
it's
So
it's crazy when you break it down, man. It's super cool.
yeah. So I guess in terms of like obviously back when you kind of started fighting games, like what kind of got you into fighting games in the first place, and like when you was like growing up and stuff, what kind of got you into fighting games originally?
So when it comes to like early fighting games, right? I played like the two fighting games that I kind of eventually kind of like fell into and played, right? Because I
Mm,
played bits of like different fighting games, right? Like so
yeah.
I found out like a couple years on after I started to play fighting games, I actually owned Tag 1. I don't
Yeah. Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
playing Tag 1, but I
Okay.
owned it.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
somewhere I did play like a bit of Tekken and stuff like that. But like
Yeah.
for me, like the two main ones um was Soul Calibur 4
Mm,
and DOA 4. I basically got DOA 4 because they had like Halo Spartans in it. I was playing like quite a bit of Halo at the time as a kid. And I
mm,
was like, oh, like, they're like punching each other. That's kind of cool. And
yeah.
then I played DOA and I was like, oh, this is like actually like a hella cool game, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But like I didn't really like stick onto fighting games like
Mm.
that much.
Okay.
And then for like Soul Calibur 4, and Soul Calibur 4 was like kind of like in its like final sort of year, right? Like they were basically like I basically got it like Christmas, like 2011 Christmas. And
Yeah.
then the
Okay.
year after Soul Calibur 5 came out, and that was like when I properly played Soul Calibur, and I was like, oh my god, this game series is like really cool, and that just got me like really crazy
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
fighting games. Then I rolled into Tag 2, then I played Tekken 7, had to wait
Mm,
like years before to play Tekken 7. And
yeah.
then, eventually I just played every single fighting game I could kind of grab my hands on.
Nice.
And
So
then
what
up
was it
to
about
T8.
like what was it about like the Tekken Soul Calibur 3D? Because I'm noticing there's a 3D kind
Yeah,
of trend
there's a
there.
3D.
There's
Free,
definitely a 3D trend.
early on, I realized I prefer 3D a lot more.
Fair enough, fair enough, fair
I
enough.
tried I tried Street Fighter 4 like I remember I got Street Fighter 4 as well.
Mm,
I think it was for my sister. Like my sister got it as well, like for
yeah.
Christmas as well. And I played Street Fighter 4 and I was like, this game is terrible. Like 12-year-old me was like, this game sucks, man. Not knowing that obviously the
Yeah.
game is like peak, right? But like me, I was like I don't want to do links, I don't do any of this stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I gravitated towards playing like, Soul Calibur, right? Because like Soul Calibur was way easier for me to kind of wrap my head around. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, you can freely move around. There's no sort of like limitation on movement.
Yeah. Just the back and
And
forwards of like the 2D games and stuff. Like, yeah.
yeah, and you only have like, you only have like the 3 attack buttons, right? Compared to like, the 6 you have to deal with in in Street Fighter and all that stuff. And that was like that
Yeah.
was all good for me, right? And then
Mm.
eventually as well, when I tried Tekken for the first time, like properly, I tried Tag 2 and I was like, I don't like this game as well. Funnily enough. And then I sold that as well.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but obviously I eventually came back around to absolutely loving Tekken, basically. So
No, that's
it is
it.
what it is.
So I guess like obviously you start to like Tekken and you're playing like all these 3D fighters. How do you
Yeah.
kind of find like your scene, so to speak? How do you kind of start getting games? Were you playing with like your friends first of all, and then did you kind of branch out? How did that kind of transition
Hmm.
happen in terms of finding like quote unquote scene, as it
That's
were,
the
and
scene,
go from
right?
there. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
so easiest thing obviously with when it comes to my scene, right? Birmingham, of course,
Yeah.
makes sense. Like I'm in the community corner for this. I got my
Yes.
my VSF fighting
Yes.
hat,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yes. Yes. Yes.
you know, but when it comes to like kind of like that sort of like early sort of like trying to like kind of like find where the scene was, I
Yeah.
played a lot of Soul Calibur 5 online, right? So the 360 version I played a lot online, and obviously I was just playing with people and all that stuff. But like I didn't know, for example, I was versing people like Zero, Andy Rue. This was just 12-year-old me just being like, oh yeah, I'm gonna come back from school and just play online Soul Calibur, right? And I just
Yeah.
had like a lot of fun basically playing it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
When it came to like finding like that sort of like proper like sort of offline scene, I saw like obviously like there was advertisements for like one of the VSFs, right? So like
Yeah.
the one that was before like obviously like Stars moved to be like Millennium Point as like the home, right, for like VSF,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The one that was before that was like the first one I went to.
Oh, which would
Uh,
have probably been Public West Brom. Would that
I
have been the one?
I
Or
think
was
so.
it?
It was like it had like a couple like
Oh, that would have been Studio. That would have been Studio.
yeah
That would have been Studio. Yeah,
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 that
yeah.
sounds about right.
And like
Yeah.
about like 3, 4 levels. Like
Yeah.
yeah, Studio. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, they had
Studio.
like I remember like it had like a couple like beanies laid out,
Yes,
like
definitely Studio.
for like
Definitely
for
Studio.
the Street Fighter. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
sick. Yeah, and that was like the first one I went to, and I remember like my dad literally had to drop me off like all 3 days to basically like attend for that.
yeah.
And like that was like my first sort of like proper experience of being at like an offline event, and I was like, oh my
Oh,
god, this is like
really?
so yeah, like that was
Oh,
like my
wow.
first proper one.
Yeah.
And I was like, I really enjoy this, right? So like, I want to like, keep coming back basically. And like, obviously everyone that was, part of the staff and this, just part of like, just the team, right?
Yeah.
Like the VSF crew, they're just all lovely to me. When I was like new and basically basically trying to figure out how the hell do I even like play these fighting games and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Everyone
Yeah.
was really
Yeah.
supportive. So
Nice,
yeah,
nice,
it was
nice.
a
And
good
of
time.
course, I do. You probably don't even remember me, but I remember you for like there's a couple of times in Global Gaming Arena (GGA), like
Yeah,
back in the day, like
that was
obviously around those times, like
that was I think I played Street Fighter 5 like
okay,
once there. Is it
mm,
Street Fighter 5 they were running? I can't remember.
okay,
But
no shit.
like it was one of the ones I went to and I was like, yeah, there was like a couple games that were running.
Mm.
If it's the venue that I'm thinking of, they had like Street Fighter 5 and they also had what was it? Was it Tatsunoko? Like it was something like
Yeah. Tatsunoko.
yeah,
There's been times when Tatsunoko versus Capcom was at
yeah.
GGA. Yeah, definitely. I used to play that a
That's
bit.
that was time
Yeah,
ago. That
time ago. Yeah, definitely time ago now. Um, have we still got Koenji? Hold on a second. Is that me? Oh no, it was the mention of GGA too much. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can get him back.
these sort of showings as well. Did my internet drop out then?
It did a little bit. Yeah. You're back. You're back. I
Yeah.
think you're good.
Yeah, what I had to do real quick was basically just unplug my Ethernet cable and plug it back in. I was like, I jumped into a Discord like super quickly just to see like, is this actually my net that's bugging out right now?
Oh,
But
okay,
yeah,
that's
sorted
fair.
it.
No, that's fair enough. So I guess obviously with like the community and you start going to you've gone to the versus fighting and things like that. How do you kind of where were you going to kind of keep up the play? And again, was this the kind of time where you was like, I'm gonna take this seriously, I'm gonna start playing competitively now and trying to learn more and do my best and actively try and travel to events?
So obviously I wanted to do better, but I didn't really like at the time I didn't really understand the sort of way that would be kind of like comfortable for me to like kind of like learn efficiently and like sort of like progress.
Yeah.
in terms of like being like a competitive player, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like I would obviously, enter the tournaments, and like try and obviously like play a lot at home, right? But like I didn't really like fully like, obviously I wanted to be like a competitive player, but I didn't have the mindset of like these are like the things that I needed to do like regiment wise to like
Yeah.
really sort of like excel in how I wanted to play.
Mm.
Until Tekken 8 came out, then I was like,
Okay.
okay, I
So
have like an idea of like basically
yeah.
how I'm
So
gonna like piece all these things together.
why was Tekken 8 the game that you felt like was the point where you're consistent? Okay, now I'm in there. Like
Hmm.
why was Tekken 8 that game?
Well, so at this point, obviously, I've been playing like T7 like on and off for like a good amount of time, right?
Mm.
And I just felt like with the game coming out, it was like a good time to really sort of try and kind of like focus on it.
Yeah.
I saw I saw Dante was saying an actual net. This is true as well.
I guess it's a fair point. It's a fair point as well because yeah, it's a fair point.
I mean, if you don't really have like a good network infrastructure, right? It's like you can't really. I mean, you can still learn, but like online, it's like it's difficult, right? That's sort of like what's the word I'm looking for? That parallel basically between like offline and online play is like completely diminished, right? If the online experience is like it's like crazy different, right?
Yeah.
And that was like not only with like network infrastructure, but like even in terms of like sidestep changes they've done in season 2 and all that stuff as well for T8 to reduce that. But yeah, for Tekken 8 in particular, there was like they did like the trailer for Azucena, I remember, and I was like, this is the character that I am going to like basically just dump all my time into, right? So like even when it came to Tekken 7, I wouldn't like, even though I played a lot of characters in Tekken 7, but I wouldn't be able to point like this is like my main character, right? I played Alyssa, I played Lucky Chloe, I played like all sorts of characters. I played Konomitsu, and like at the end of the lifespan of the game, I played Noctis. It's like just very like different sort of characters. But like for that game, like for Tekken 8 in particular, I was like, I am literally gonna stick with Azucena. Like I like the changes that they did to Alyssa, but like I'm not playing any sort of Alyssa at all in this game. When it comes to like playing in tournaments and stuff like that, it is literally going to be just Azucena, right? Ride or die, all situations. It's like I'm labbing this with Azucena and stuff like that. And they basically
focused.
like basically like fully focused on that character. And like for that game, like for T8 in particular, they made collabing like quite fun to do as well. So like I didn't really enjoy like doing that sort of like lab work in T7. But I have to basically shout out my favorite gameplay feature, right? Replay takeover. If it's not in a fighting game, they need to implement it, right? Like 2x KO, I love 2x KO right now, but like there is so much craziness in that game, and I'm like, can I like break this situation? And that's like I just don't have it as an option, right? And I'm just there so I'm just kind of like sitting on the back line. That was basically, I ain't gonna lie, that was like the secret for like how I like got really good at T8. Like especially within that first sort of like 2 months of like everyone was kind of like struggling to like
just like like legacy Tekken 7 players, and it's like the differences and all sorts going on, and but you was able to kind of have like I guess like a clean slate to the point where, and again, the focus that you've got with I'm sticking to this character, I'm not going here, there, everywhere. That kind of helped you kind of propel yourself.
I'm actually you actually reminded me saying clean slate as well, right? Because like with T7 as well, I would always say kind of like T7 is like my first proper like Tekken game, right? Because that was the game that I've actively seeked out and bought and like didn't sell compared to Tag 2. But like I've heard kind of like the saying of like, oh yeah, like when it comes to Tekken, right, your first Tekken that you play, it won't be the one, right? But like the one that comes afterwards will be like, that will be like your Tekken basically. So and like I definitely felt that for T8 when I was like really trying to like sort of like compete in it.
And then so obviously you start going to like more and more events, and first I've got to shout out Black Country Foundry, because obviously you guys
they're my guys.
I know they're gonna come up in the shout outs, but I've got to shout out them. Like obviously they've been holding it down for like the millions in terms of like offline events, in terms
Yeah.
of just being able to go
Yeah.
and play, and like shout outs to them. So how has that kind of helped like your level in terms of like leveling up and kind of balancing strategies and stuff? With obviously like
Mm.
you got
Richie and
Cloud, you got
Cloud, man.
Richie,
Yeah.
yeah,
Richie
stuff
and
like
Cloud, bro. Like
yeah,
legit, those are my
yeah,
boys, man.
yeah,
Like I have a lot of love for them, man. Like they are my guys. But yeah, definitely that event, like that locals is being kind of like a blessing in disguise. Cause
mm,
I mean I live in Warsaw.
mm,
I never expected, well, two things in Warsaw. One, I've never expected like an arcade. So
yeah,
like the venue is like a full-on, it's a full-on arcade, right? And it's
yeah,
not like your your small arcades that have like redemption machines and all that stuff. That's like the stuff that's kind of like littered around the UK. We used to
mm,
have that in the past in Warsaw, but obviously like after COVID, a lot of that stuff just kind of
yeah,
disappeared if it wasn't, there
yeah,
anyway. But this is like a proper like a proper arcade, right? You have like Japanese imports and all that stuff, and it's like, all these games just kind of filled to the brim, like all of these different fighting games that are just chilling, right? Like if I want to play arcade DOA 5, I can play it at that arcade. Like that is
yeah,
crazy to me
yeah.
that an
That's
arcade in Warsaw has that,
yeah, yeah. It's
Um,
really sick, man. I went there for the first time maybe a few months back now. It's a really, really sick place, man. Really sick
mm.
place.
And then obviously, yeah, the locals there, like a lot of love to the people that run the locals as well.
Yeah, shout
Um,
outs to them, man.
they were basically kind of like, bouncing around like a couple different venues, right? But they always wanted to like, create a space for people within Warsaw to play,
Yeah,
or people, that are in the West Midlands,
yeah,
a space for them to play, right? And they succeeded, it's basically like a yeah, people were joking that, oh, if you want to like really sort of level up your Tekken game, just throw like your best players at this one spot
yeah,
and like, see if they can basically like take the top spot, right? I think only one person maybe has done it. Maybe I'm not even sure. I think maybe Neon K was kind of close.
mm.
But Neon K got gate kept by the fact that they had to take a train basically in the
Yeah,
grand finals.
yeah,
So like I don't think anyone like outside of that circle basically, except for like
yeah,
the one event, we had like a pre-VSF event.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Um
yeah. The one with the day before VSF. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think that was won by someone that was outside um of Birmingham, but like
yeah,
for like the main sort of like foundry,
yeah.
Tekken Dojo events, always Richie on top, man. But like again, even being able to play with him has been like, it's
Mm.
been basically like a blessing as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like like subconsciously, it's like, even though I like the win to loss ratio against Richie is like quite extraordinary, I'm not gonna lie. Like I feel like just having to sort of play against that mindset and
yeah,
then being dropped into bracket, it's been like, yeah, I just feel like I have like this sort of just layer of like armor that's on me, that's like,
yeah, yeah,
if you're not playing that style of play, it's like it's
yeah,
kind of hard to like basically crack. So
yeah, yeah.
it's quite good.
No,
it's
that's
it's
sick,
been it's
man.
been quite
Yeah,
good. Yeah.
and it now again shout out to them because they're super consistent, and obviously the events every 2 weeks. And just it's really sick because again you can kind of see like the levels being raised between all of you guys and like the competitive nature, and obviously that got to a head at versus fighting this year.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yep.
got to a head at versus fighting, but obviously you guys are all in top eight.
Yep.
Like
All three of
all
us
three of
were in
us
top
were in
8.
top
Yep.
eight at versus fighting this year, which was really really sick. Like so, I guess obviously you've been training and you're playing and first of all, what were your thoughts going into versus fighting? Like, were you confident that you would make top eight, or was it
Mm.
like I'm just gonna go and just play my game and see what happens? And because obviously it's a big tournament, so it's like
Yeah.
how were you feeling and what kind of differences were there from like your locals to now? Okay, now this is the major, like it's
Yeah.
time to go kind of thing.
Definitely the latter. So like
Mm.
usually, so initially with like the VSF like tournament runs I had, like it started off with me being like, oh, I wish I got into like day 2, right? That was like
Yeah,
the initial sort of start off, right?
yeah,
When
yeah,
I was like really sort of new to like playing fighting games. Then I started to consistently get into day 2, and I'm like, you know what? Like I'm having like a fun time. right? Basically, and I, like if I can go further, if I can go further, that would be cool, right? That was the sort of like mindset I've always had, and that was kind of like the mindset that I kind of had as well when I was initially sort of going into it for the VSF this year. But then obviously like I versed like a lot of these players that I ended up versing, right, were players that I've kind of like played before in like other events and all that stuff, right? And they're all obviously like really good players, right?
Yeah.
And then like for example, I take out Kibo Mega, right? He's probably like the second best Yoshi in the UK, right? Like high level European Yoshi player, right?
Yeah.
Obviously like Kane, right? But
Yeah,
Kane
yeah. I
was
was gonna
sadly
say,
not
yeah,
at the
Game of
event.
Chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out Game of Chance. Yeah.
But yeah, like I took him out and I was like, well, this this run could actually, be something that's quite crazy, right? Because like this is kind of like the longest that I've stayed on winner side as well for VSF. And then obviously I had to go against Cloud. Cloud smacked me to losers, I was like, okay, yeah, cool. And I had to verse Eddie. The last time I played against Eddie, I remember, was that first VSF that moved to the Millennium Point. He was playing under a different alias at the time. He was playing under the alias called Dragonfly, and they were playing Leo. And I remember I versed him, and I was like, I got absolutely battered by him at the time.
Yeah.
And I was like who are you? Basically, he's like, oh yeah, I use this tag. And I was like, oh, that's you, blah blah. But like he's been in Japan and all that stuff, basically. Like so, like he's been in Japan. He played like like he was there for a year and he played like a bunch of matches there. And obviously, like he played in like Hessen Clash as well. Like I think it was like a week before, like 2 weeks before, and he won. Cool. He won that tournament as well. So even then, I was like, okay, I'm versing Eddie, but like let's see how it goes, right? We can only do our best, right? That's how I see it.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm playing the match and I'm like, I could actually potentially win this,
Yeah.
And then lo and behold, it happens, and it's like one of the craziest experiences and feelings I've ever had playing offline Tekken. At that point.
So I guess what obviously once you're playing and you're winning the tournament, how do you feel when like you're playing your match to get into top 8 and it's like, okay, I'm in top 8 now, going to Sunday, I'm going to be on the main stage. How does that feel, first of all?
I just no words, honestly, because I've never had that happen before. So like obviously, like I told I had to tell VSF dad. I told Justin, straight away. I was like, Justin, I'm in top 8. He gives me a hug. I just could not believe it, basically. And like all my friends as well just could not believe it. Told my parents. I've been going here for so long, I finally made it to top 8, for Tekken as well. Like one of the the bigger entry games that run at this event, right? It's crazy. It's just no words, basically. It was just really crazy.
So like I guess obviously going into top 8 now, like obviously you're on the big screen, it's the stage, it's the bright lights around you and that. Like, did you feel any kind of pressure going into it? Did you feel like, okay, did it hit you like, oh wow, I'm in top 8 kind of thing? Like,
as soon as I got on stage, I was like, I ain't gonna lie. Wait, am I allowed to swear?
Yeah, man.
I was shitting it. I was shitting it, bro. That first match, I was freaking out, man. Yeah. So, like, I had so much nerves when I was playing because obviously, like, I got to a point, obviously, like playing like in these offline events, right? Where like playing in these offline events, I've had like I've found a way to kind of like build up that sort of composure and feel comfortable, playing with people being around, right? Yeah. But like that, like being like sat on that stage was a completely different experience compared to what I've basically felt before. Yeah. What compared to what I've had before in the past, right? You have obviously like you know, the really loud sound system. Obviously, like in the auditorium itself, it's very loud. But like when you're actually like sitting down, like next to like the screen, right, and you just hear like the sound of the game just kind of like blasting in your ears, it's like,
Yeah.
oh my god, like this is like a crazy sort of experience, right? But
Yeah.
after that first game I played, and like when the nerves kind of like when the nerves sort of calmed themselves, right?
Yeah.
Um, like all the matches I played afterwards, I felt like I had a lot more control.
Mm. Mm. Nice. And you definitely had like support. You definitely had support with the
Yeah,
crowd.
the crowd was the crowd was
the
literally
chants were going,
behind
man.
me.
The chants
Yeah,
were going, put it that way.
yeah,
Man.
they were going like crazy, and literally every single time I got like hit and a combo, it's like I could literally just feel the energy through like every single hit of the combo, just with the crowd behind me, and it's like, well, I have to play good now, you know what I mean? So it was, oh my god.
Yeah. So
Honestly,
you're looking
my
rather
favorite
cool right
experience.
now.
Yeah,
You're looking rather cool right now.
yeah. Right now I'm literally, I'm just buffing, bro. I'm just buffing.
No, but yes. And then I think for me, on like a personal level, I think because obviously, like, you know, normally we've got like so many other like international players and, you know, reasons and whatever. But I think for me, I think like because obviously you were in top 8, like Rich was in top 8, Cloud was in top 8. I think it brought a different element to like the top 8, and like, you know, because you know, more, you know, the UK players and people have got their favorites and stuff, and it was just a different vibe. And like I think I was kind of like, I guess, just proud just seeing you guys get in there, and it was just different. It was just different. It was just, I mean, different.
It's literally, you know, peeps from home, you know.
That's
it's
it. That's
peeps that are 20 minutes away from the venue. Like literally in the top 8 position out of a bracket that had like 200 plus players in it. You know, it's like, of course, you know, people that are from Birmingham are proud of that. All right. That's why when I was there, you know, I was repping again my VSFighting hat, right?
Yes.
And my Foundry t-shirt, right?
Yes,
I wanted to support Warsaw and ED as well. So you know, it's just how it is.
That, man. It's really sick, man. It's really sick to see. And I think one thing that kind of struck me as well was kind of like, again, you guys play at like Foundry and stuff, just the togetherness that you guys had during that top 8 as well. Like
all hugs and all that stuff.
Yeah. Like obviously it's competitive, and you know, there's stuff on the line, and there's TWT points and all the rest of it. But just seeing you guys together is just like, it's really sick, man. It was really sick.
That was also the most TWT points I earned in one go. That was, I literally went from like, I can't remember the position I was in at the time, but like I shot up like 20 positions from this one tournament. I was like, oh, so this is why the pro players are like literally just flying through like the point system. Okay, this makes sense.
Yeah, that's mad. But yeah, it was really sick. So I guess like, what have you, obviously you come through, and it was it top 4 that you made in the end, or was it, I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, I came fourth.
Yeah, I came fourth. So I guess like obviously, yeah.
Wait, give me 2 seconds. Wait.
Yeah, man, no worries, man. Do you think, man? No worries.
Where is it?
Oh, is he reaching for the medals? Is he reaching for the medals? I think he might be reaching for the medal, you know.
Yeah. Of course. Ugh. Of course, man.
Sick. Proper.
Yeah, I had to bring it up, man.
Nah, that's proper, man. That's proper. So, and I remember when I took this picture at VSFighting, I was like, when I was like going through it, I was like, yeah, this one's gotta go up straight away. So I tweeted it out straight away, and that, man, I tweeted out.
Bro, I was just happy to be there.
Yeah, trust me. Like, shout out Skinners. Who's actually streaming now, by the way. But yeah, like so I guess going into, obviously you've gone top 8, and you know you've got the top 4 and that. How, it's a silly question to ask, but how did it, once the tournament was over and everyone was like, how did it feel? Kind of, you know, you're standing on the stage and it's like, you know, coming 4th place, Koenji, like, and obviously the crowd's just going mad because you got your chance 100%, man. Like, how did that kind of feel, and how did it make it like feel like, you know, everything that you've put in terms of
was worth
traveling
it.
to the events was worth it? Yeah,
100%. It felt like, because before, obviously, I didn't really have like that sort of like pathway when it came to learning, because I was mentioning before, right? I didn't really sort of like understand kind of like how to piece together like how to get to that sort of next level of playing Tekken.
Yeah.
And at that point, it was like, yeah, like that work that I put in was basically, worth it. It took literally me losing to the two people that I played consistently at locals to stop
Yeah.
the run.
Yeah.
And it was great.
Yeah.
It was a great feeling.
It's really sick, man. So I guess what from off the back of versus fighting and
Mhm.
coming the top 8, top 4. Let me not say top 8. Let me say top 4. Let me get it right. You came top 4 at versus fighting. So coming off the back of that, like, does that give you kind of like a renewed sense of okay, like you're doing the right things now? It's time to kind of push on and be
Yeah.
more consistent and placing a bit more now.
Yeah. So I have my sights set for like a couple like offlines where I do want to try and like show up and play.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's basically felt like I'm on the right track with how I'm kind of like approaching my learning, right? I do want to obviously like kind of like patch up like a few holes and like my game plan. Well, that was kind of like the thought I had, right? So even that as well, I've like done kind of like the work to basically do that as well. So it's quite cool.
Shout outs to Santa for jumping in the stream. I might have to get you on here at some point as well, man. Like cosplay and stuff, man. Shout out to you, man. Like,
Yeah, they're
you did
always cosplaying. Yeah,
yeah, really sick, man.
the Elena cosplay they did at VSF. Oh my god, that was sick. That was sick. The Elena cosplay was sick.
Sick, man. Shout out to you, man. So yeah, like you obviously you've mentioned obviously there's a few events that you're looking at. Like where are they? Are you looking to travel further out or?
If
depends,
if
really.
I get like the opportunity, definitely to travel to like kind of like at least like some European spots would be quite cool.
Yeah.
Maybe because like my dad lives in Qatar,
Oh
so
wow, okay.
even playing in maybe like Middle Eastern tournaments could be like quite cool
Okay,
as well.
interesting.
Yeah, but that would be like the two locations, so like a little bit out of Europe and then maybe like Middle Eastern tournaments. But like for sites that are like for my sites currently set like right now, Drowning Pools, like that's like definitely like the main one.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. I say it's
Yeah.
coming up November
Yeah.
15th, I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. That's sick, man. So, and then obviously, you're still going to like the Foundry locals and stuff.
Locals every single time. I mean,
Yeah.
I go there anyway to play DDR, and I was like, I might as well take part in a
Yes.
Tekken tournament while I'm there,
well.
So
You may as well.
you
That's
might
sick,
as
man.
well.
That's sick. So I guess yeah, like obviously you've got a rather nice jacket on at the moment, like on this stream.
This little thing, it's got
Yeah.
like it's got like a nice fit in the back as well.
Okay.
The whole logo in the back. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So for those that obviously didn't know, obviously Koenji was part of the team that worked on the Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and Beyond mod, which is a really, 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 really sick mod, and it's like the amount of work just from like my standpoint, the amount of work that seems like it's gone into it to overhaul the graphics and everything else and all of that is really sick. But I guess like my first question is how did you even get involved in that? And obviously because Maximilian's backing and all the rest of it, big streamer. How did you even get involved in that in the first place? Like,
so obviously I modded a lot of Unreal Engine games, and the Unreal Engine modding scene is quite close knit. So there's a lot of people when like a new game comes out and you show some interest in a new game, there'll be some people that will jump on you, be like, oh, like I remember you, it's like it's cool that you're modding this game, blah blah, and then obviously you work together with them. One of these individuals is Rin. She is a lovely individual, crazy programmer. Like anything she puts her mind to, she can just basically just build. And she was basically doing some shader stuff for MVCI. That was like sort of like the initial sort of like thing that she was doing there with that. And Maximilian saw it and was like, hey, I want to make like a proper project for this, right? And they basically kind of like teamed up to basically try and build like kind of like a rejuvenated version of
Yeah.
MVCI basically.
Yeah.
And during kind of like the early sort of like development part of that, I was kind of just like asking Rin just like, oh, what tools are you using kind of like for like MVCI, because I'm like seeing like stuff sort of like taking off
Mm.
for it, because I usually do like a lot of I used to do like a lot of stage mod stuff in fighting
Yeah.
games. So I was like, oh, I kind of like want to mess around a bit and all that stuff. And it ended up with me basically um getting like an invite to like work with the team on that project. So I did a handful of level design stuff for it, 2 levels in particular, and some general just code assistment, like assisting basically
Yeah.
with the project, and it was a lovely experience.
Nice. So like, what was your kind of input? What exactly, if you could like bullet point your input in terms of like the mod and stuff, what would you say it was in terms of what exactly you did and what it kind of contributed
Yeah,
towards?
yeah, definitely. So I worked on 2 stages in particular. One of the stages was the training stage. So the
Okay.
training stage got re-overhauled to be similar to the MVCI 2 training stage, right?
Yeah, yeah, the globe
Yeah,
type
yeah,
thing.
the dome, like kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
green
yeah,
grid thing.
yeah,
So all of that had to be kind of like uh all of that had to be kind of like revisualized and kind of like redone
mm,
um in Unreal Engine 4, right?
yeah,
And this is where kind of like Rin's specialty kind of like comes into place, right? Because usually when you're modding these games, right? Well, usually when these developers are making these games, right?
yeah,
Unreal Engine is very mod, like Unreal Engine is like very moddable from like a developer standpoint, right? So if the
yeah,
developers need to do any changes to the engine, let's say for example they're trying to make something that is, you know, visually quite stylized, right?
mm,
In Unreal, they might do edits to like the material pipeline. They might do edits to like how maybe like static meshes work,
mm,
etc., yada yada.
mm,
So like Guilty Gear has like, for example, like done a lot of those things, right? When you try and mod the game with these adjustments done,
yeah,
you run into errors, right? So
mm,
someone needs to sort of figure out what these adjustments are and try and like implement them,
yeah,
basically.
mm,
Rin basically did that work, and it basically allowed me to just basically just create materials from scratch. So a lot of like kind of like the grid material stuff is
yeah.
all just custom materials that have just been made from scratch in Unreal that I did.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did it for like the ground, the floor. Um, I even represented like when you use like the stones
Yeah.
as well, like you use kind of like the surge of the stones. Um, the floor just goes white when that
Mm,
happens as well. So like stuff like that, you can basically kind of like tailor and do as well, which is quite cool. Um, the other stage that I did um was basically onslaught stage
yeah.
from
From Marvel
the
vs. Capcom.
first, yeah, the
Yeah,
first
yeah.
one.
Marvel vs. Capcom. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
that was one that, so Maximilian like basically because like he really appreciated like the stage stuff that I kind of did, right?
Mm,
And early on he was like, I really want this stage, right?
yeah,
And I want you to like basically like try and, you know, implement this and work on it.
yeah.
Um, so I basically did like that was like a full stage pipeline basically. So that
Mm,
started from being blocked out, um, and just like represented fully as a block out, and
yeah.
then basically like getting assets to like build like that whole city environment,
Mm,
um, getting particle effects for it, and then obviously just making it so it feels like an actual stage that
yeah.
is living and breathing, you know,
Mm,
basically. I think I might actually have a trying to just look real quick if I have like a early screenshot of what it looked like in its
mm,
blockout stage, because it was like, it was literally just a gray box like version of the stage basically.
yeah, yeah.
um
Okay.
I
Yeah.
will
Feel
see
free
if I
then.
can try and find it super quickly.
No worries, man. No
uh
rush, man. No rush.
let's see. Do. That was really early stage stuff. Maybe if I go to here.
So how long would you say it took you to kind of like say for this stage, for example, how long would you say it took you to kind of from start to finish get all the bits together and get it working within obviously the system?
Um, it took like about, I want to say like maybe 3 to 4 months.
Oh wow. Okay.
It took, yeah, it took quite a while because we had to like for like the development stuff, we had to kind of like build the tools while we were working. We had to build the track as we were going along.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like there
yeah,
were
yeah.
certain things that were like, for example, like I remember like because like one of the members on the team called Erebus, he did a lot of basically kind of like code stuff on the
Yeah.
project. And he also like assisted with some material stuff as well for the stage.
Yeah.
But like he implemented like a fire fog. This fire fog is like present in the stage, but the game did some material changes to how translucency worked, and the
Oh,
characters were basically broken in a way when they were
yeah.
represented on the stage, and the
Yeah.
UI as well was like behind the fog, so you literally couldn't see it
Oh,
as well.
okay.
So like that had to be basically kind of like fixed basically
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
in terms of like how that was done. um but I just found I found like a really early block out. I was kind of like
Yeah.
messing around with it. I'm gonna just send it real
Cool.
quick.
Cool. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. Feel free, man.
Let's
Feel free.
see if I does this SteamYard allow me to just throw in a picture?
Yeah. Yeah. You should be able to share it. You should be able to share it yourself. To be fair.
I'm
I
trying
don't.
to, but it's
Is it not allowing you to? I don't think there's any permissions.
not
Maybe I gotta sort it
really.
out. Okay, let
You
me
can see
stop.
if you can try and click on that link,
Okay, let me just check now. Actually.
but that's like a
Oh yeah, that's
really
fine. That's
yeah,
fine.
that's a really
Okay, let
really
me.
early block out.
Okay, let me get this one up. Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put this one up on the screen now.
yeah, really really early block out, and you can see how that basically just started to go from like that
Yeah.
to, let's see if we even have like another one.
Yeah, just trying to. So was it a case of making like the blackout first and then putting like the materials and the textures and stuff on after, really?
Yeah, so like the initial block out was to just kind of like gauge as well like how everything would feel in the environment, because the other thing as well is that when you're modding these games, right, you don't have the direct sort of like gameplay code, right? So
Yeah.
you can't, for example, like in Unreal Engine, you can just hit play, right? And when you hit play, it will drop you into whatever the scene is, right? So like if you was like making a fighting game and like you hit the play button, it would, drop you in with 2 characters. You can like move around, you could feel it out and all that stuff.
Yeah.
With a mod project, you have to do the whole build pipeline and then test it out in game. So it's like a lot of going back and
Oh,
forth,
back and
back and forth.
forth. Oh
Yeah.
gosh, yeah. Like, okay, this
So
doesn't work. Now we need to change this value
yeah,
here and
go
go back.
back.
Oh, okay, yeah, 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 yeah.
And
Yeah.
they have like, they're using like, you kind of have to work around the fact that, okay, they have their own sort of camera values for this sort of thing. These things are kind of like shifted in a weird way because maybe they do like a perspective correction or whatever, right? Like that sort of thing, right? That's all like the stuff you basically need to kind of figure out and get a feel for. And then you sort of like kind of see, okay, I guess if I put these things here, this will be all right, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
lot of that stuff needed to be done first before like, the stage was properly built out, right?
Yeah.
But the good thing is, because the stage is, because like, MVCI and Street Fighter and all that stuff is basically in one sort of camera direction,
Yeah.
you can build the map predominantly to be viewed from that one angle. The only other problem, it literally just came into my head when I said that, MVCI does a lot of camera stuff where it, for example, let's say this is the camera, right? Sometimes it will do like this with the camera.
Oh, okay.
So you have to sort of build like the environment as well, like
Yeah.
fully on the side as well. You need to.
Okay. Yeah, you've got to
So,
compensate for the potential angles of where the camera's going to be to kind of make it look actual as it's in game, I guess.
Yeah, basically,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I wonder. I'm gonna see if I can find another picture, but
Yeah.
I remember taking a picture of. Oh, actually, I literally just found it. Sick,
Nice.
cool. Um, I took a picture basically of what's it? What's the character now? Strider, right? So
Yeah.
Strider, he has a throw in the game where like he grabs you and he does kind of like a mini sort of like I can only describe it as like a not a Zuna drop, if
Yeah,
that
I was
makes
just
sense.
about to say. I was thinking Izuna drop, but it's not because
Not
Izuna drop is the spit. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, it's like
it's
it's he's
basically the Izuna drop. Yeah,
yeah. But like for that, like the camera, it's like the camera's like looking like this, right? But then it goes like this, like it looks down
yeah,
like on the environment, right? And for most environments, it's like, yeah, that's not really an issue, right? But Onslaught stage is on a rock. And because the camera tilted down, you basically saw like the whole city that's at the bottom of the stage. So the whole city that was at the bottom, I had to like put like buildings basically to like model it out.
Oh gosh.
So that was like one thing that had to be
Yeah.
sorted as well.
Sounds
So
like there's a lot of work. Sounds like there's a lot
yeah,
of work.
I have yeah. For some reason, I took the image vertically. I don't know why, but like you can see like there is like buildings
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
placed in
yeah,
a way.
yeah.
Yeah, so
So,
that
so
was
how,
like one thing.
so how did
Mhm.
you kind of find like the collaborative process in on a whole in terms of working with the team? And obviously there'd be time differences with them being in America and stuff like that.
Yeah,
How did you kind of find that aspect of working on the team on the mod?
it was good. I mean, to be fair, the time difference kind of worked in some parts, right? Because the problem with Unreal, when you're kind of like building assets, when you're kind of like building content in Unreal, right? So any sort of like map, it could be like a map, it could be a material, it could be like a character mesh, whatever, right? Like
Mm.
in industry, it's just literally just described as content, right? Like some people
Yeah.
outside also say like content for the game, but literally like in Unreal Engine, it's like you're putting stuff in a content folder.
Mm.
Um, that's how it works, right? Um, when you're kind of like editing content, um, only the person like it's only locked for like one person at a time,
Yeah.
right? There's certain like kind of like what's the tool called? Like source controls tools that allow you to kind of like work on like similar stuff, but like you can work on like I mean, you can work on the same thing, but like different parts of it.
Yeah.
But with Unreal, it's like it's whoever has this asset, they have ownership of this asset until they basically kind of like free ownership of it, and then you can touch it. All right.
Yeah.
So with the different time zones, it kind of worked out in our favor because when I was doing a lot of like the map stuff, they were
Yeah.
sleeping. And
Oh.
then when they needed to do stuff, they would just basically like get the stuff that I basically,
Yeah. Yeah.
pushed to the SVN, and then they would just take it and then like do whatever, right?
Mm.
So like in that aspect, it worked out quite fine.
Nice. 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 That's sick, man. So I guess how once obviously you've done your bits and everyone else is kind of working together, and I guess Maximilian comes to you and says, "Okay, the mod's ready. It's coming out at this day or this time."
Yep.
How? And I guess once it comes out and it's out in the world, like, how do you feel about that? Like in terms of what was and the general reception of the mod and just being
Very
involved in that
yeah.
project, like.
Very, very proud.
Mm.
It was a really cool feeling. It was also cool as well, going to VSF, and obviously a lot of people love playing on a trading stage. So like the four screens that we had at VSF for like the NBC era, just training stage, training stage, training stage, training stage, and I was like, yeah, I did good. So like it
Yeah,
was like that in itself was crazy.
yeah,
And just yeah, it's just surreal just seeing it like, again, that thing I was saying like at the start of kind of like this community corner of developing stuff
mm,
and putting it out there for people to just kind of like just use and just tinker around or just
yeah,
do whatever with it, right?
mm,
And just seeing it like people were just playing on the stage and like enjoying it and like
yeah,
having like a fun time with it. It's like yeah, it was cool. It
yeah.
was really really cool.
And I'm glad that like it came because obviously it was that versus fighting last year as well, but obviously it was the main game last year because
Yeah,
obviously the mod wasn't out. But be able to kind of like sort out and have the mod there, and obviously people playing it was sick because the game is a
Yeah.
good game, and I
Yeah.
think the visual uphaul like that the mod provides, and
Yeah.
obviously your contribution to yourself is a really sick thing as well, man. So
Mm.
shout outs to you, man. Shout outs to you, man.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate
For
it.
real, man,
It,
for real.
it was for another thing I just remembered as well. So a lot of like so the setups for MVCI at VSF were predominantly on Steam Decks, right?
Phoenix, yeah.
I basically had to like Steam Deck was something obviously that was really important for the game. But when I did like the Onslaught stage initially, there was problems with it running on a Steam Deck.
Oh
so we had to do like I basically had to do like a full-on like repass of the whole stage to basically make it optimized for the Steam Deck. Yeah. But after that whole pass, basically, the game ran a lot better on Steam Deck, and that luckily that was the version that was played at VSF. So
yeah. Because I feel like I'm sure I've not installed the mod yet, but I remember around the time it first came out, and I was just like looking online, and I was like, oh,
yeah,
don't know how it is on Steam. Because I was like, oh, I'll leave it and that, but yeah, like I'm glad to see obviously it's working fine and everything's sick, man. But that's really sick, and obviously it's definitely like a big achievement for yourself. So I guess would you be looking to do anything more like that in the future in terms of other projects, or if there's any other mods or things of that nature?
Yeah, 100%. That is the biggest mod like thing that I've worked on easily. Easily. The team size for that was crazy. There was like around like 30 plus people working on this project. Like it was insane. And it felt like it honestly, because I had like an industry job for 2 years, right? It literally felt like, like a proper sort of like profession, like a proper sort of job you would get like if you was doing like a design role, a level design role, or like whatever position, right? It was such a lovely experience, and Max was like was a really good leader. Erebus as well was a really good leader on that project, and like all sorts of people as well were just contributing, just lovely stuff as well, and just kind of just making sure that everything went smoothly. I can't forget as well Derek as well. There's a guy called the Derek. He's done like industry stuff as well. He used to work at Blizzard, and he done like a lot of sort of like the sort of like making sure that people had like their content done on time as well. So even in terms of like that sort of management as well, it's again, it's like it's a full sort of pipeline, man. There was so many moving pieces, right? All art had to be done. All the stages I had to do were done. All the stages that are on computers as well. He was another person that did like a lot of like the texture edited stages. That were present. All of his stuff was lovely and were complete as well. Everyone just worked together to just deliver like that sort of final
shout out to Jassy. We got a question from Jassy. How shook were minds that the DMCA request from Capcom/Marvel would come?
we just pretended to not see it. we just pretended to not see it. But no, I think like people thought about it, but they're like, we ultimately just want to do this thing. So like obviously we worked quick to try and
just get it done so it's out before they turn around and say, you know what, we're not having any of this. We don't want any fun or clean graphics or good UI or background stages. Just
the UI stuff in that game is crazy. It just reminded me as well. Yeah, again, full on like team announcer, like literally like Maximilian. He got a person to like do all the announcement stuff in the game. It's like, oh my god, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Definitely like a mad project, man. Like I think, but you can see the passion behind it though, because
100%. Yeah,
they say that announcers all the artwork or the character select screen, like the UI stuff.
That was a labor of love for like that was a labor of love for just, people that were Marvel fans, and
Yeah.
like, like especially like the artists as well.
Yeah.
It was like a showcase as well
Mm.
for just the artists to just show like whatever love they have for the Marvel series.
Mm.
They all were able to just, basically do what they wanted to in terms of
Yeah.
like representing that, and it was sick.
Yeah, and there's definitely a lot of callbacks to like the older Marvel games and stuff, and
Mm,
just the general style and the feel, and even like obviously soundtrack stuff as well. Like there's so
yeah.
much, a massive project, and it's like
Mm.
really sick, man. And I say to kind of be a part of that as well is definitely something. If you,
Get
I was,
modding bloody roar of attack. Bro, I don't even know where to start with. I don't even know where I would start with that. I've to be honest, I have looked to kind of like try and maybe like modern new game modes and all that stuff, but it's so difficult. It's difficult if you don't have like what's like the thing that's the kind of thing I'm looking for. If there's not like a initial sort of community that has done sort of like the groundwork for it,
yeah,
then you're basically kind of just throwing like a needle in the haystack on like how to sort of like start and like figure these things out, right? So like I've been modding like Sonic Racing Crossroads recently, and
okay,
yeah, the Sonic community is pretty crazy. Like them guys, like I don't know if you saw like there was like a Sonic Unleashed like recompiled project.
yes,
Uh yeah, this dude basically he took the original 360 game, right? And the original 360 game, the kind of like, so when you compile a game, like so like let's say I compile like a game in Unreal Engine, right? It gets compiled into assembly code, right?
yeah,
So it runs efficiently, like its maximum level of efficiency that it can run on a PC, right?
yeah,
That's why it compiles to that sort of like, that code, right?
yeah.
Sonic Unleashed, when it compiled to this 360 code, and he basically got it to somehow translate that 360 code to a language that basically the PC could understand, and the performance is basically comparable to like if Sega themselves took their own code and did like a native
Wow,
port.
it's
But there
crazy.
was no renderer for the game, so he built a renderer from scratch. And I'm like, who are these people,
Shit,
bro? And
that's
it's like, yeah,
crazy.
I'm just a Sonic fan. I'm just like, bro, you could like you guys could be like finding like the cure to like some crazy like diseases and all that stuff, and it's like yeah, I'm just gonna mod a Sonic
I'm
game,
just
man.
gonna
It's
mad
like,
Sonic.
but it's like the passion behind it is like it's
Yeah,
super damn cool, right? So
yeah,
I've had that sort of luxury of kind of like working with them in a game that is not only a game for Sonic fans, so it runs
yeah,
on it gameplay wise. Again, it does the Tekken thing. It runs on a gameplay code that is it's what Sonic teams used in the past. So it
yeah,
runs on the Hedgehog engine, but rendering wise, it uses Unreal Engine.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I've come in and I'm like, yo guys, this is how you do like the Unreal Engine stuff.
yeah.
And then they have been kind of like basically feeding me information on like how Hedgehog engine games work and all that stuff. So
Okay,
there's that
okay.
being that sort of like that union
Yeah,
basically in
yeah, yeah,
terms
yeah.
of that.
That's sick.
Uh,
That's sick. That's sick.
so like I've basically kind of like messed around with stuff like that. But when it comes to like kind of like again implementing new game modes and stuff like that without having any sort of like that sort of like community sort of like foundation, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like it's very, very difficult. Very, very difficult.
So is Sonic Crossroads better than Mario Kart?
Oh, well, one I can play on PC, one I can't. So that
Fair, fair,
is
fair, fair,
that
fair, fair.
is that is a very
Because I know it's like, but yeah, I just thought I'd ask. Oh,
yeah, they're very different. They're very different
yeah,
games.
fair.
But personally, I do prefer Sonic Racing, but that might be
Fair
like
enough.
general like sort of gameplay system bias, and
Yeah.
also the fact that it's in Unreal Engine, and basically
Yeah.
whatever I want to do with the game, I can just kind of do. So
Yeah.
you
And
know.
to be fair, shout outs to Dante. Kirby Air Riders. I saw the
Oh,
direct
that's
today.
true. That's true. Oh my
That
god, that game
looks
looks hard,
that
bro.
looks crazy. Nah, that
That
game
game
looks
looks
crazy.
sick.
That game looks crazy. Shout out to Sakurai, man. He's a mad guy when it comes to the games that he produces. He's like, yeah, it looks
Even
really good.
like even just sharing the knowledge as well. Like, I mean, have you seen some of his stuff from
Yeah, yeah,
his
his
game?
YouTube
Yeah,
channel and stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
pure game design gold right there, right? So
yeah,
like if you want to learn like what you should be sort of considering and sort of like when it comes to like designing games, creating that sort of like that game feel, right? Like making games feel good to play,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
All of his content is just kind of jam packed with that stuff,
Yeah, it's
basically.
really sweet. Shout out Sakurai, man. So I guess you've kind of mentioned briefly in terms of what's next in terms of you're looking to go drowning pools. What's next in terms of your upcoming events and obviously in terms of further afield for like next year's events and stuff? What are you kind
Yeah.
of any
So in terms for so this is for like Tekken and like just general life stuff as well, right?
yeah, 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 yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Generally, anything.
Yeah. So for Tekken, I got my eyes set on Marizo. I thought
Nice.
I spent 2 years playing Azucena.
Mm.
I love the character, but I kind of want to change now.
Yeah.
So like, new year, new me. I'm gonna try this character. If this character is something that I do enjoy,
Mm.
then we'll see how that goes for like, that basically
Mm.
that full year, right? Um, in terms of like events, yeah, definitely drowning pools. I have, I think there's like another one in Wolverhampton called Tip and Tap,
Okay.
um, which I'll be like attending,
Mm.
and any other sort of like events that are kind of like like around the UK.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can sort of like pop up, right?
Yeah.
Um, I wanted to go to Sodium Showdown this year, but I wasn't able to. So like
Oh,
Sodium Showdown next year,
yeah.
I'll definitely want to go as well. And yeah, I see it kind of put something in chat. We're taking you aboard next year. Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. Yeah. So if I have the like, even like going to places abroad, right, would be sick
Yeah.
as well.
Nice. Nice.
Um, in terms of like what's next for me in terms of like development or just like kind of like the next sort of life steps for me.
Mm.
Um, hopefully again, just trying to kind of like stretch my legs when it comes to games programming, games design, technical design as well. That's kind of like a position that sort of like fuses design aspects with games programming,
Mm.
creating that sort of bridge right between those two roles, right? That's something that as well that I'm also quite interested in. um if there's any sort of maybe like mod stuff I might be interested in, I might try and do as well. I've been
Mm.
doing a lot of like Discord rich presence plugins,
Okay.
so like proper like native Discord support into a lot of like a lot of game titles. So I've done it for Sonic Racing Crosswords. It will literally tell you the character that you're playing, what map you're playing on in
Yeah.
Sonic Racing Crosswords,
Okay.
lap
That's sick.
information and all that stuff. It's all like listed on Discord. You can,
That's
if your
sick.
friend has it on, you can see all that information. And for that game as well, it's really cool in Racing Crosswords because obviously, the crosswords themselves are like an integral gameplay mechanic.
Yeah.
You can swap around to all these different courses, right? As soon as you enter a new crossword in that game, it instantly updates on Discord as well, which is
That's sick.
quite crazy.
That's really
Yeah.
sick. That's really sick. Yeah.
So right now I was literally just spending a little bit of time coding like Discord rich presence support into Soul Calibur. And I literally just got it so that if you're playing a custom character, it will say the name of your custom character and the style next to it as well. So all that stuff is just kind of like there as well.
That's mad. That's mad. You're a
Yeah.
very knowledgeable guy, aren't you? You're a very knowledgeable
Yeah.
guy.
I learned a lot, bro. I learned a lot from just kind of like, well, from like just tinkering around with games, right? So like
Yeah. Yeah.
uni kind of like helped me understand like, what Unreal Engine is
Yeah.
and kind of like, it's sort of like the design aspect, right?
Yeah.
But like the main thing for me is literally just kind of just seeing how people make stuff, right?
Yeah.
Looking at just, pre-existing games, trying to like just dissect them and all that, right? And it's just been, it's been a good experience. So yeah, maybe, who knows as well. Maybe like making my own game as well would be something that is in the cards as well. If I want to do my own game, it would definitely be a fighting game as well.
Nice.
So
Nice. That's sick, man. So I guess obviously you mentioned that you briefly obviously you play Sonic Crossroads, you playing
mhm.
2XKO. Is there any fighting games or otherwise? What else do you play now? And is there anything in terms of like the new fighting games that you're looking forward to? Like obviously we got you was on the beta for Marvel Tokon, wasn't you?
I was, yeah.
Yes,
I
yes.
played in Wanted
Yeah.
for that.
Yes, yeah, yes. I remember, Yeah. So is it
Yeah.
any kind of future fighting games that you're looking forward to kind of like testing the waters and stuff really?
So obviously to XKO, you know, it's early access right now. Been playing it, been having a blast with it. More so than I expected. Initially, oh, Virtua Fighter 6. I'll get to that. I'll get to that in a moment, right? But yeah, 2XKO, I generally was not interested in the game at all.
Mm.
Mostly for two reasons. One, I'm not really familiar with the League IP.
Mm.
You know, even though it's a strong IP, you know, there's a lot of really like well-made characters.
Yeah.
In that IP, I just didn't know any of them. I haven't watched Arcane. I don't play League of Legends. I haven't played
Yeah.
like, you know, any of like the other sort of like games that they've done, right?
Mm.
And two, I don't really play tag fighters as well.
Okay.
So I kind of like just didn't really have like much of an interest in it until I actually played it. I was like, the input system is kind of weird. Got over that hurdle, and I was like, nah,
Yeah.
this game is sick. So as soon as that happened, I was like, yeah, like
Yeah.
this is a really fun game, and like I do kind of want to spend a bit of time in with this game. How much time I'll spend in it, depends,
Yeah.
you know. So like, I'll see how it goes, but
Mm.
again, like I mean, maybe it might be my tag fighting arc, right? Because I also, again, I tried out Tokon, and I
Yeah.
absolutely love Tokon as well.
Yeah.
So
Which is
that might,
sick, man.
you know, might be like the start of something. And there's a lot of them coming out next year. You got like
Yeah.
the the
Invincible.
the Invincible, and then I saw like another one called like Saturday Fight, like Saturday Fight AM, I think.
Yeah, it's like the manga characters, some like
Yeah,
independent manga characters. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
There's that one. Yeah,
That's like a crazy project
yeah.
as
Then
well.
the Avatar one as well,
The
which got
Avatar one, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think I can't remember if my friend I can't remember if Rin is actually working on that project.
Okay, wow.
I know she's working on another fighting game called Netcode Warriors.
Okay,
It's like an arena, like a 3D arena fighting game.
yeah,
But obviously it's, you know, it's being done by it's an arena fighting game being done by, you know, people that play fighting games, so it
yeah.
has robot netcode and all that stuff
Oh, okay, yeah. It's got the typical standard things that you would expect.
that you would expect for, you
Yeah,
know, like a traditional fighting game, but it's in
of
an
course.
arena fighting game now.
Yeah,
But I can't remember if she was also working on that that Saturday Fighting game. But yeah, again, like building my own fighting game and stuff like that would be something as well that I kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
like
That's
to
sick.
mess around with. Yeah.
No, that's sick. That's sick. So I guess before we wrap it up, I just want
Hmm.
to say thank you. But have you got any shout outs, like shout outs your socials or the shout outs people in general? Like the floor is yours, man. The floor is yours.
So if you wanna, you know, follow me on socials, right? The main ones is my Twitter. So it's literally just hashtag Koenji deck, right? Well, at Koenji deck, sorry. That's like the main, you know, social media outlet that I just kind of just throw stuff in. You'll see me kind of like break down mod stuff. Or like, you know, see like people like talk really weird like game devs like stuff, right? Like like I saw someone saying like saw someone like complaining about the lack of like voice acting in Pokemon, like the new Pokemon game that came
Oh
out,
yeah,
and
yeah,
he
yeah,
was like, oh yeah, they can't do voice acting because it's like an issue with the engine. And I literally was like just kind of just clawing my face out
yeah.
on that. So like if you see me, like if you want to see me get like, you know, tilted at a lot of those things,
Yeah.
basically, you know, that's the
Yeah.
Twitter account that you well, the
That
X
you need
account or
to
whatever that
follow.
you go to, right?
Yeah.
um my YouTube as well, it's literally just Koenji. I want to try and start to do content,
Yeah.
so I feel like if I put it out here, it will kind of, you know,
Force you
motivate me
to.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
like
I've
because
said it
I'm
now, so I've got to see it through basically.
yeah, I've got to actually put stuff out there. The last
Yeah.
video that's on there was literally like last year, so
Yeah.
that needs to be changed. And then obviously shout out to the Foundry, shout out to Electronic Dojo, shout out to VSF as like an event, right? Those are my guys, Birmingham scene, born and raised Warsaw, that's how it is, right? So I have to, put those out there as well.
No, that's sick, man. That's sick. Well, thank you. First, thank you for coming on today, man. I appreciate your time. Like,
no worries, man. No
sharing
worries.
the knowledge and the wisdom, man. Like,
no, anything related to like game dev stuff, it's like, yeah, cool. I can try and I can just try and like yap on about it because that's the stuff that I love basically. So yeah, honestly, it's a pleasure to be here.
No, thank you again. Thank you for coming on, and I say it's been great, man. It's been great, man. And I send you the link once, obviously, so on YouTube and all the rest of it, and go from there. But before we head off, a few small announcements. Got Johnny Pools November 15th. Start.gg/Johnny Pools 2025. You got Street Fighter, Guilty Gear, Tekken, a few other games. As you said you're looking to go to Johnny Pools and stuff.
Yeah. This is one that I do want to go to because
Nice.
one of my good friends, he's from Liverpool, so I have to like. If I wasn't going,
Keno
would...
by any chance? Would that be Keno?
Yeah, that might be a Keno. Yeah. So like, if I didn't want to go anyway, he would probably drag me there anyway. So like, I just have to go. So
yeah. So shout outs for that. We've also got as I said, I've started a retro stream. I was played Contra 3 this week, just Tuesday, just gone. Got bodied. It was fun all the same though. But this week, again, I'm trying to get them regular Tuesdays about 6. The game I'll be doing this week is Streets of Rage 2. So I'm playing Streets of Rage 2 from 6 o'clock this Tuesday. Just tune in, Electronic Dojo. It was fun, but yeah.
Banger game, Streets of Rage 2.
Yeah. Classic, man, classic. And then also, last plug, littlemilobooks.com. I'm a children's author illustrator, so I do like children's books and stuff, write and illustrate. Got soft toys, coloring books. Christmas is coming up. Help a brother out.
Yeah, 100%, man. 100%.
So plus toys, all that good stuff. So littlemilobooks.com for all of that. And yeah, I think that's about it, man. As I say, Koenji, thank you once again for coming on. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you sharing the knowledge and the wisdom. Shout outs to the jacket.
Of course, man. Bro, the jacket is
it's clean. It's clean, It's so clean.
There's two variations of it as well. There's a hooded version as well.
Really?
Yeah, there's a hooded version.
Nah, that's sick, man. That's sick. But yeah, as I say, thank you for your time. Appreciate you coming on again. Congratulations on obviously the top 8.
Thank you.
Looking forward to seeing what you do, like obviously in the future.
Of course.
Yeah, for next VSFighting XIII, man. Don't worry. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you on that stage again, man. But with Mary's old, maybe? Who knows?
Maybe. Again, we'll see how she plays because there's like I really sort of know what I'm looking for in terms of like characters now.
Yeah.
So if she doesn't fit the bill, she's gonna have to get the chopping block. But I mean, from the gameplay stuff that I've seen, it could be like it could be a match, right?
Yeah. Nah, that's sick, man. But again, I say thanks a lot, man. Appreciate your time.
No worries, man. No worries.
For everyone out there, thank you for joining us today. Next week, we'll be back next week, same time next week. We have who do we have next week? We have Eternal Dragon. Shout out to Eternal Dragon. We've got Eternal Dragon coming on next week, 7 p.m. Thursday 30th. We'll be talking about Koenji, Tekken, and he does Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as well. So we'll be wrapping up about that as well. So
that's crazy
episode. So shout out to Eternal Dragon, and I'm looking forward to next week's episode as well. So for now, thank you everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you. Electronic Dojo on all socials except Instagram, which is Electronic Dojo UK. Please follow us. We lost our original channel a while back now, and we're trying to just get back up. Obviously, you can find all the previous episodes of Community Corner on our YouTube channel, as well as other bits and bobs that will be coming out soon. I'll be back on Tuesday with Streets of Rage 2. But for now, I'm heading off. Thank you again, Koenji, man. Appreciate your time, man. Thanks.
No worries, man.
Speak to you soon, man. We'll catch up soon. Everyone in the chat. Man. See you later, man. Thanks a lot, man.
See you, everyone. See ya.
See you later. Respect, man.